Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Televiziya. I'm qocaman. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. President İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited Alif Martis on 31st anniversary of the 20th January tragedy. This week, a meeting through video conferencing was held between President İlham Aliyev and President of Turkmenistan Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov. On January 20th, President İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited the Alif Martis on 31st anniversary of the 20th January tragedy.
President İlham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva paid tribute to the memory of those who had sacrificed their lives for the freedom of our country at the Alley of Martyrs. The deployment of the Soviet troops against the masses of people who, having been outraged by the territorial claims of Armenia and the patronage of the leadership of USSR to Armenia, took to the streets and squares of Baku on January 20th to express the objection, led to unprecedented tragedy. The massacre of peaceful civilians who took to the streets for the territorial integrity of their country, the murder of innocent people as a result of mass terror, showed to the whole world the criminal essence of totalitarian Soviet regime on the eve of its demise. The savage act of terror against Azerbaijani people, implemented by the military machine of the Soviet Empire, went down in the history as one of the most ruthless crimes against humanity. The tragedy of the 20th of January, which resulted in big losses and murder of innocent people, also showed the fighting spirit, the resilience and the pride of the Azerbaijani people, who were not putting up with the treacherous policy of the criminal empire against our country and who were striving for their freedom and independence. January 20th is not only a day of tragedy in the history of Azerbaijan, but it is also a history of honor. The people on that day became the shield against the horrendous ghosts and managed to show the dignity and tenacity. These events directly demonstrated that the people of Azerbaijan were eager to fight for the restoration of their violated rights and sovereignty. Unfortunately, both USSR and the then leadership of Azerbaijan did not take any measures to bring to justice the perpetrators. Worse than that, they did whatever they could to cover it up because they themselves were the direct organizers and participants of this bloody crime. Heydar Aliyev's visit to the representation of Azerbaijan in Moscow to share the grief of our people and his denouncement of the bloody campaign against Azerbaijan by the Red regime was a kind of support and sympathy for our people. The people felt that day that they were not alone during those difficult days. With his statement, Heydar Aliyev in reality gave an assessment to the processes unfolding in Azerbaijan. He brought to their attention that the USSR leadership was not acting in good faith towards Azerbaijan. He also criticized the government, saying that the appointment of people who were servants caused a great divide between the people and the government. The creation of this divide first of all served to the interests of the central government and was the cause of all the future problems, especially of the 20th January tragedy. After a while, with the initiative and leadership of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev, the Supreme Council of Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic gave a political and legal assessment to this event on the 21st of November of 1990. After the demise of the government and restoration of the state independence of Azerbaijan, the Azerbaijani leaders who were preoccupied with the struggle for power did not carry out expedient work in order to investigate the causes of this grave crime committed against our people and bring to justice the perpetrators. Only following the return of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev to office, the events of the 20th of January received political and legal assessment at the state level in 1994. So, the 20th of January went down in the history of Azerbaijan as the peak of heroism. Our people gave unprecedented sacrifice at the end of the 20th century, but gained history accompanied with the exceptional will and bravery and perseverance of the national spirit to be proud of for centuries. Years passed by. The successes of those who paved the way for the independence on the bloody night of the 20th of January created reality by liberating the occupied territories, and the Iron Fist claimed the victory. It is an unbelievable feeling to be a citizen of the victorious nation and our glorious army showing unprecedented examples of heroism under the leadership of the Supreme Commander-in-Chief instilled this feeling in all our people. Now we have an image of the victorious people and we created this history as a nation. This is a triumph of self-confidence and exultance in one's own eyes.
On January 21st, a meeting through video conferencing was held between President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev, and President of Turkmenistan, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, in connection with the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the government of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the government of Turkmenistan on joint exploration and development of hydrocarbon resources of the Dostluk field in the Caspian Sea.
President of Turkmenistan, Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, said that the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Government of Turkmenistan on joint exploration and development of hydrocarbon resources of the Dostluk field in the Caspian Sea is directed at consolidation of cooperation and mutual understanding in the field of energy between the two countries, emergence of the rejoined potential of the two giant energy states, and establishment of the best favorable conditions for the development of extensive, productive, and international partnership. President of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev, called the document historical and noted that Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan are for the first time starting joint work on the development of the field in the Caspian Sea, and work on this field will bring the two countries closer and will benefit both the Turkmen and Azerbaijani peoples, saying that the relations between our countries have shown very positive dynamics in recent years. The head of state noted that the signed documents, including the agreements reached on cooperation in the energy sector, were being implemented, and the signing of the new document will open a new page in the development of the hydrocarbon resources of the Caspian Sea and will contribute to strengthening of the energy security of our countries, as well as our neighbors. President İlham Əliyev spoke about the prospects for expanding cooperation between the two countries in other areas. Then, the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Government of Turkmenistan on joint exploration and development of hydrocarbon resources of the Dostluk field in Caspian Sea was signed. The document was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ceyhun Bayramov, and Deputy Chairman of the Cabinet of Ministers, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkmenistan, Rəşid Məmmədov.
This week, President İlham Əliyev received in a video former Secretary General of the Cooperation Council of Turkic-speaking states, Baghdad Amreyev.
Providing information on the crimes committed by the Armenian vandals on the Azerbaijani territories, President İlham Əliyev characterized such barbarism, vandalism and destructions, intentional destruction of cities and villages, as something unseen by the 20th century. The head of state said that the war ended with the victory of Azerbaijan, but we will never forget this, and we must never forget this. Therefore, in each city, one quarter, maybe a big territory, will remain as they were left after the invaders, so that Azerbaijani people never forget this. Turkic Council was the organization that supported us more than anybody in the period of war, said President İlham Əliyev, and expressed his gratitude to the management of Turksoy for supporting the just cause of Azerbaijan, the territorial integrity and sovereignty of our country, and inviolability of its borders in the very beginning of the war, as well as for issuing the statement for condemning the missile attack on Ganja, and later in the end of October for stating that it was necessary for the conflict to be settled in line with the resolutions of the UN Security Council. The head of our state highly appreciated the arrival of the delegation of the organization to Azerbaijan and the visit to the territories liberated from the occupation. Saying that Azerbaijan will restore its cities, President İlham Əliyev expressed hope for active support by Turksoy in the restoration of historical and cultural monuments. Secretary General of Turkic Council, Baghdad Amreyev, extended his congratulations to President İlham Əliyev and people of Azerbaijan on the occasion of the victory gained in Karabakh War. Speaking of his impressions from the visit to the liberated territories, Baghdad Amreyev said that currently the possibility of the participation of entrepreneurs from the member countries of the organization was being discussed. He proposed to declare Shusha the cultural capital of the Turkic world in 2022. Afterwards, Secretary General of the International Organization of Turkic Culture, Turkcell Dostan Kaseyinov, and President of Turkic Culture and Heritage Foundation, Günay Efendiyeva, informed President İlham Əliyev about the works carried out and presented books dedicated to the national heritage of Turkic-speaking states and peoples to the head of state.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev, attended a groundbreaking ceremony for the Azer Sulfat LLC sulfuric acid production plant and Glassica Chlorine Stock Company glass container production plant and inaugurated the Azer Float Closed Stock Company thermoforming sheet glass plant at the Sumgayit Chemical Industry Park on January 18th.
The investment value of the plant to be constructed within the framework of Azersulfat LLC sulfuric acid production plant is $6 million. The plant envisages 20,000 tons of product manufacturing. The plant that will start operation at the end of this year will have more than 30 job places. Only over the last 3 years, Azerbaijan imported 5,000 to 10,000 tons of sulfuric acid annually, and with the operation of this plant, the import will be substituted with the local production. It is envisaged that the products will be imported to Georgia and Russia in the following stages. Glassica Closed Joint Stock Company will construct glass container production plant here. The products of the enterprise will be mainly used as containers in the food sector. At the enterprise, with the investment value of $12 million, 160 people will be provided with permanent jobs. The demand of the internal market for color bottles in Azerbaijan approximately changes between 45 to 50 million units. The plant envisages production of 60 to 90 million of different variety of color bottle containers. That is, it fully meets the demand of the internal market, and as a result, the prospect for importing comes up. Azerfloat Closed Joint Stock Company thermoforming sheet glass plant production is the first enterprise for glass production. The plant, with a value of 100 million euros, will manufacture 80,000 tons of different variety of sheet glass. The design and supply of the plant with cutting-edge technologies was provided by Horn Glass Industries AG. The enterprise uses Italian, Finnish and Chinese technologies. Following the groundbreaking and inauguration ceremonies, President İlham Aliyev gave interview to Azerbaycan Television.
That was all for the week. See you next Sunday. Goodbye.